Howdy. Howdy, howdy. How are we doing? I'm feeling great. I hope you are too. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Chelsea nil. I mean, what a performance. Oliver Skipp, what a guy. As you can tell, this is Jacob from United Spurs of America. I hope you're doing well here on the Irish Hotspur fan call-in show. This is my third time, so hopefully I don't mess it up too much. But if you've been here the last few weeks, you've seen that David and Jack have kindly allowed me to humbly talk to you about Tottenham. Started out with a loss when we lost to Leicester, but the past 2 weeks, maybe I'm a good luck charm. This headband I wore, this is now the second week in a row. So maybe that's a little good luck charm. I don't know. Maybe it's not. But first off, let me say hello to everyone in the chat. If you are not a fan call-in show member, please do hit that join button. If you are on your computer, it's right there by the subscribe button. Hit join, pick your membership. You get access to the, you get to see the link. David and Jack have their magic. They'll show you the link in some magical way, and you can kick in, you can call in, have your say about today. But for me, I'm happy. I'm thrilled. I'm through the roof. My heart's honestly been pounding since I would say about the 50th minute. But that's just me. I hope everyone in the chat is doing well. Let me run through it real quick before we bring on our first guest. Daniela Zito says, Coys, Chelscum in the mud. On to the next one. Big up David and Jack. Big up David and Jack for sure. Chris, Chelsea who? Chelsea who? Yeah, Chelsea who exactly. Big up NS Sports. Hello, big up. Dark Sun G, I hope you're doing well. Chris, what a win. What a goal from our wonder kid Skipp. What a wonderful goal. I mean, I think everyone is absolutely thrilled with what they saw from that young man, especially in the second half. Maybe a bit controversial. I don't think he was that good in the first half. But you know what? Every time he's had a struggle in the first half, he comes in the second half and does wonders. And today it was just even better on top of all that. Is this a call-in show? It is a call-in show, a fan call-in show membership thing. Kind of explained earlier, but yeah, you can get your membership, call in, you get the link. If not too many members call in and the show's a little short, we might drop the link in the chat. We might, depending how many people we get calling in. But big up NS Sports, big up Chris, big up AE says good evening, David, Jack. Come on, you Spurs. I did say it would be 2-0 to us. Hey, if you did predict it, come on, strut your stuff, man. Walk large and hold your head up high with your chest out, my friend. Because I predicted a win with my heart and with my head. I thought we would draw. I honestly thought that we would allow them to score. But you know what? I'm so thankful that back three did their job again. It's almost you don't want to mess with a winning formula, I guess, at this point. Big up Anthony Rose. Big up Dave and Jack. Woke up to a great result. Sensational. Come on, you Spurs. I predicted, hey, you too. Both of y'all walk with your chest up high. Chris says Dark Sun G. Well deserved goal. And Emerson put in another royal performance. He absolutely did. Oh, let me see this. Big up Dark Sun G. Sorry, apologies. I did not see this. I was just running through the chat. People were afraid of Dr. Tottenham. Laughed my ass off. It was Dr. Blues today, especially for our wonder kid Skipp. It's because of his strike that we won. What a first goal. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Dark Sun G with the first super chat of the day. Big up yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that up. If my first guest is ready, I'm ready for you, my friend. I'm just gonna leave this up and I'm gonna ask your thoughts on it as well because Dark Sun G is coming in clutch with the first super chat of the day. So let me welcome in Daniel. How are you doing, my friend? This is the first time you and I are in a call-in show. 2-0. We broke the curse, if you will, versus the Dirty Blues. How are you feeling, my friend?
I'm over the moon. You know, feel like I'm on ecstasy right now. I mean, it's brilliant. I needed to beat Chelsea so bad.
It was one of those. I'm going to ask you this real quick. Sorry to cut you off. I just want to ask you. Did you go into this game with confidence? We have a couple people in the chat already saying that they predicted 2-0 win. Were you going into this with confidence or were you a little afraid? I'm going to admit, I was a little reluctant going into this thinking, what a perfect time for them to turn their season around and start getting hopes on their form because they've been really struggling to get a goal. And I thought we would allow that to happen. We did not. I was proven wrong, and I'm thankful to be proven wrong. Were you proven right or wrong this week, Daniel?
I was proven right because I was actually positive going into the game. I was really like feeling a win, and thankfully for once proven right because usually when I'm positive it goes in the other direction. So it's nice to finally see it, especially against these twats as well. Jesus.
I mean, Dr. Blues, as Dark Sun G says it here in the super chat.
Yeah.
He talking about, especially for our wonder kid Skipp. I mean, we saw
Oh,
his goal come
wow.
in the second half. What did you think of the strike? I mean, he got a pretty good lick of the ball.
It's a perfect strike. I mean, he hit that so cleanly. I don't think he ever will. Probably long time until he's gonna hit one of those again. But big him up. I mean, after Bentancur got injured, he stepped up. Stepped really up and become. He's gonna be. You struggle to get him out of the team as well. Him and Højbjerg seem to have a really good partnership. So even though Sarr is being great as well, but nah, it's amazing to see, especially an academy player as well.
He's one of our own. I mean, he's Tottenham through and through. And I think a little bit while we're talking about Oliver Skipp, I want to ask you, what do you make? Do you think he had a decent first half? Did he have? For me personally, I thought he had a shaky first half. I think he struggled a little bit early on. He's shown that a few times this season when he gets to start, but then he's also shown it a few times this season. In the second half, he really turns something. If to me that doesn't say you're Tottenham through and through, I don't know what will. But what do
Yeah,
you make of that? Do you think he had? What do you make of his first performance versus his first half performance versus his second half?
well, I think it's definitely a massive improvement in the second half. But I actually think he didn't have that bad first half. His first like 15 minutes was poor. Him and Dyer especially was really not switched on at the time. But no, yeah, just big improvement in the second half, and he controlled that midfield with the Højbjerg. So, oh, just perfect.
Yeah, it was absolutely. It's good to see him stepping up because of the injuries that we've had.
Mhm.
Not only with our starting number 30, but with Yves Bissouma as well.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, when this starting 11 came out, what was your mindset? Don't touch a thing that ain't broken. It worked last week. Why not give it a shot this week? Ben Davies, left wing back. Whenever the starting 11 came out, did you think that it was good that we stuck with what won, or were you a little surprised by some of this by sticking with the same game plan?
No, I'm always in the belief you don't change a winning team, and I called that after West Ham game when people said, "Do we change?" No, do you keep the same team because of the confidence going through that? And yeah, we've proven right. Ben Davis again, brilliant again at left wing back. I mean, what the hell? And Emerson, I mean, what's
Where
going
did
on?
that come from? What's
Yeah,
going
and
on, man?
Emerson, yeah, and Emerson turning into the best right wing back in the world. I mean, I'm never what? I just can't believe it. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's mad. It's actually mad. But I'm all
So
for it.
you mentioned Ben Davies. To me, it has been another humbling, haha, in your face, Jacob moment, because anyone who follows the channel that I run over there with United Spurs of America, they know I've been pretty hard on Ben Davies. And he's out there
Hmm.
at the left wing back. Sessegnong's out with some injury. Honestly, Sessegnon before the injury, he should have been out because I don't think he was good at all. Perisic is a
No,
liability defensively. Ben Davies has been a nice surprise little gem or a diamond in the rough over there at the left wing back position. I'm kind of proud of him. I really let off of my anti Ben Davies agenda when Harry Kane scored 267, and I'm just going to share this why because I saw a lot of Ben Davies crosses into the box. Why not? Well, he can do it. He's got it in his locker. And so watching back Harry Kane's goals kind of reminded me some of the things that Ben Davies can do well. Maybe not at the left back position. Maybe sometimes struggles at the left center back, but left wing back, 2 out of 2 for me. This is the second game we've seen it,
yeah,
and I like what I've seen both times.
100%. I mean, there was sometimes he got into a position and he did the wrong option, but he's gonna learn from that. So hopefully,
Absolutely.
he just continues through the end of the season. Because, like you said, I don't trust Perisic anymore, and Sessegnon, no, thank you. He needs to go far from here, Jesus. So,
I'm not going to talk about Sessignon because that's
nah,
going to take the direction. I'm feeling good. I don't want to feel too.
yeah,
So,
come on,
uh,
yeah, this is
yeah,
Tottenham.
yeah, we're both feeling good. I think you and I are both in the club. We're dancing. We're having a good time right now because of what we've
Yes,
seen today.
100%.
When you wake, for me, I don't know what time it was for you, Daniel, but for me, the match kicked off at 6:30 a.m. So I had to wake up about 6
Yeah,
a.m., really start making coffee, breakfast, get myself, because if I'm doing all that at the beginning of the match, I can't really watch. So a little bit early for me, but this is one of those games I think that helps you wake up. It's a It's a rivalry. It's a big time match. And honestly, once about the 46th minute, 47th minute in the second half, after that, I didn't need any more coffee because I was off to the races.
Yeah,
Big up Darkson G for the super chat. I'm going to run through a
big
couple
up.
more of the chats here. Stellars J says he was up at 5 a.m. to watch this, so worth it. I was up at
Yeah,
6.
that's cool.
Big up
Big
yourself.
up to you
Sun
guys.
Deep. Nice to see 2 Academy boys get the goals. Absolutely. Carl Simpson,
100%.
I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight. Match of the day 2 and soaking in the win. Come on, you Spurs. Oliver Skipp, take a bow. Take a bow. Dark Sun G, Chris
Think
Kuti,
about.
and Royale looking feisty and great on the right.
Oh,
Absolutely. Royale's back to his. Real quick, I do want to talk. What did you make of Royale, Daniel?
yeah.
Not Royale, excuse me.
Well, yeah.
Romero,
Shoot it.
because
Yeah,
I wanted to touch on him a little bit because you know, he got the red card versus City. He missed the Leicester match. We struggled heavily. He was back versus West Ham. Some people thought it was make or break. You know, we've seen since he's returned from the World Cup, his form really returned, in my opinion. What do you make
yeah,
of his performance today? I thought he was really on top of it. One of his better performances of the season, in my opinion. I thought at every level he was violent. He had
yeah.
desire to get forward, desire to get a crunching tackle in. I loved everything I saw from the man. What do you make of Romero?
Oh, he's back to his best. He's back to that almost world class player, centre back. That aggressiveness, but intelligent aggressiveness. If you get me, like
Hmm.
you just saw,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's so. That's him to to a T, and it's just what makes him who he is. And no, it's just it's just one of the best players to watch. When he's at that. And of
Hmm.
course, we said after World Cup, I mean, winning the World Cup, I think, is done massive to that. He's confident and all that. So that's probably a huge
Absolutely. Real quick,
boost.
before we keep going, I do want to say I don't think I said it, which is like a cardinal sin of YouTube. Please do while you come in, hit that like on the video. Helps the algorithm here for the two beautiful, lovely lads, David and Jack, over here at
Yeah,
the Irish Hotspur. The more you like the video, you're really liking it for them, but you're also liking it for me because it shows them that
yeah,
hey, you appreciate what we're doing here. That you I mean, here's an American term. It shows me that you fucks with me, so I appreciate that. Hit that like. It's free. It don't cost nothing. And it's a good way to show support here for David and Jack on the Irish Hotspur. So please do that. Daniel, I want to ask you. We were touching on the left wing back, and then we're moving on over to the right side. Let me ask you about Emerson Royale. I thought defensively he put in a shift. I thought he showed a lot of the same things that we like about Richarlison, a lot of the same things we like about Romero, that the desire, the fight, put your body on the line. Also a little bit of swagger, a little bit of demeanor to you, a little walk with a dip, if you will. What do you make of Emerson Royale's performance today, and really his turn of form since we signed Pedro Porro?
no, it's the turnaround of the century. I mean, I can't believe it how good he is. He's becoming. I mean, he's winning every tackle it seems like, and even his crosses was improved today. He got some good crosses in the box, and
Just no
I've
one was
noticed
there,
now.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, sadly. But I've noticed as well is that when he's running up the pitch, he's getting more central, and you see Kulu getting more out wide. So this is why, if in the future, if we're going to introduce
Yeah.
Pedro more, is that I think Real could do a shift at the right centre back position and move Romero centrally. I think he can do it because we've seen more. He's more central
He
than that.
he was playing a lot very central today. His runs
Yeah,
were central, and Kulu was the one out wide. Whereas on the
yeah,
left, you kind of saw Ben Davies playing out wide, allowing Richarlison to really get up in the middle and crowd the area there with Harry Kane kind of dropping back in and out. So that was nice to see. I think that's what we saw whenever he scored versus
yeah.
West Ham. Was
West
it
Ham, yeah.
he was Ben Davies is on the same thing. They both made runs on the inside, and it's kind of maybe we could say that the Conte wingbacks are working. Dan, do you think
Yeah.
that that's an overstatement to say that at this point we're getting the best out of our wingbacks?
No, I mean it is definitely like you didn't expect from these players, but it seems to finally be working. And hopefully, long may it continue. I mean, yeah, It's definitely in the Conte system. Wing backs are essential, so we need that. We need
Yeah,
that
I
so
mean
bad.
that's the main focal point. I think that a lot of people say. Big up Moondog says fantastic performance.
Big up, man.
Chris says, Jack, to be fair, the whole team was awesome. Jack and Nikki, big up, says, Curse is broken. You're absolutely right, my friend. Carl Simpson, big up yourself. Carl says, I was super confident today and glad it ended that way. I agree.
Yeah,
Eamon
100%.
Burns says, I didn't predict anything. I was shitting myself. I love that,
That's
Eamon
allowed.
Burns. What a
Yeah,
comment, because I think
that's
I was there with you. I've made
yeah,
predictions because for shows and stuff, it's kind of you can't leave it really on a cliffhanger like that. So, but I was definitely with you there, Eamon. Big up Daniela says it was a shame not to see Sar come on or Danjuma, but we won and we move on to Wednesday night versus Sheffield United.
yeah.
Come on, you Spurs. I do agree. This is my next question for you, Daniel, because Daniela eloquently so mentioned Sar. Before we saw Bentancur go down with injury, it was a kind of a toss up. Like, okay, when he went down, do you want Sar or do you want Skipp to fulfill that role? I was on the mindset I liked what I saw from Sar more than what I liked from Skipp, because Skipp had gotten a couple starts versus, I think, in the FA Cup versus Portsmouth, and a couple he had a couple starts there in the midfield, and I just wasn't really impressed. I
Mhm.
didn't. I was kind of wondering if maybe the physio room had gotten to him at that point. So I was questioning Oliver Skipp's overall ability, or his ceiling, because of some of the injuries that he's had.
Yeah,
And so I was the one said Sar should start, and I've been proven wrong. Humbly, I take it. I take the L's whenever they come to me like that, because if I took a L saying that, then that means if I get proven wrong, then
yeah.
it's a good thing because our player is now performing. So where were you on the Sar versus Skipp before we saw these performances from Skipp?
I was on the Sar train, especially after the AC Milan game where he was the man of the match. So I was I was also with Skip. I
They
thought,
both were really
yeah,
great at the. I mean, that's
that's
what
true.
made it, I think, more difficult too for me, was
Yeah,
both of them I thought were very, very confident at the San Siro, away from your normal. They both really stepped up to the plate, so I liked what I saw, and Oliver Skipp's really just taken the opportunity and run with it. We saw it, got his first Tottenham goal. What a first way! What a
yeah.
first way to notch that.
Jesus.
Daniel, I want to ask you about this front three now. Richarlison, Harry Kane got the goal, the second goal.
Yeah.
Dan Kulusevski. I'm going to start with him because I have a nickname, and I'm going to ask people this. Is it fair to say Dan Kulusevski? Because who is this man? Who is this version of Dan Kulusevski? I thought in the second half he was improved on the first half. I thought in the first half he was MIA. I didn't know where he was. And there was a few opportunities where the ball kind of laid out to the right side where you would expect him to be, and he just wasn't there. So I don't know. What do you make
Mm.
of Dan Kulusevski? Is Kulusevski a little too harsh right now? Am I a little premature in calling him that?
No, no. Like what we expect from him, we expect greatness because we know how good he is, and he has been. I thought today he was best from we've seen him from a while. He made Chilwell. Jesus, he made spin. Do name his bitch? I was gonna say, but, but yeah, he was toying with him, but it's still way off it, definitely. So he needs to improve.
Romero is a G, says Daniel Sandoval. You were so right. Big up Daniel
Hundred
Sandoval.
percent.
Sarah
Great
says
name.
Romero's a beast. Jack Kanicki, spot on about the aggression, looking better. Big up Moondog Chris. Tactically, we have found a way to play both Poro and Royale to play. Thank you, Jack, for the kind words. Stephen would like to see Poro going forward instead of Emerson. Interesting. What do you think? We saw Pedro Poro come on. I think he had like 9 minutes or something. I have to look it
Hmm.
up, but I think he had around
Yeah,
9 minutes. What did you make of what you saw from him? I was excited to see him out there, honestly, because this is a guy we were salivating for
yeah,
31 days for, and then we finally got him in.
yeah.
And now it's like Emerson's coming good. What do you think about this from Steven? Would you like to see Pedro Porro going forward instead of Emerson?
I mean, I know, I see where he's getting there. I mean, definitely want to see Pedro Porro. Of course, we do. I mean, we signed big money for him, and of course, someone we wanted for, like you said, a month. So it's definitely, and he did look. I mean, you can't really judge from like 9 minutes or whatever, but he did look decent. I mean, especially he's so quick. Jesus Christ, he's quick. And same pitch with Felix, of course. We know their history, which is so no, I definitely hope to see more. Yeah, but with the
And
way Emerson is playing is, you can't drop him. That's the issue.
So let me ask you. I just actually realized because I put the comments down. Your name says Daddy Hoybier. What do you
Yeah.
make of Daddy Hoybier's performance today?
Well, that's of course, when I started appearing on the channel, I'm a big Højbjerg fan, and I called him Daddy Højbjerg, so that's an inside joke. But yeah, he was definitely Daddy today. Let me tell you, he was amazing. Again, shutting up haters again. No,
He was. I thought he
no,
was great. He was everywhere
yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Box to
he's,
box. I love to see it from
yeah,
him. Hit the post. Very close one.
yeah. I was
Um,
almost. Oh,
Let me ask you before I get. There's a final question, but I'm not going to ask you the final question yet, Daniel. Let me ask you about Fraser Forster. He got down very nice with a first half save. I thought was very nice save.
mhm.
The ball had some meat on it. Wasn't tested too much outside of that in the first half. Second half, I thought he was called upon late. He made big. He made himself big in the box and was a presence. He grabbed a loose ball, grabbed a couple aerials, really threw his body on the line to secure the fact. I mean, I think one time Kai Havertz got runned in behind. Everyone thought he was offside. I think it happened actually twice.
Yeah,
Everyone thought he was offside, but he actually wasn't when they showed the
yeah. I was
replay.
on sorry.
And he made himself big, and he really affected their I guess capitalized on their inability to score. I think he's doing just fine as a Hugo replacement. What do you make of Fraser Forster?
Very solid today, and like you said, very quick off the ground, off his line, and I thought his distribution was really good as well. Which is a huge positive because Lloris, of course, we know his distribution is diabolical, so it's nice to see something different. But yeah, you can't fault him today at all, and big him up, big himself up because being on the bench all the time and not playing regularly, it's going to be hard for a player to just come in and be good straight away. But he had some against Milan. He wasn't that particularly great, but he looked very good today. So hope he continues.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Daniel, lastly, let me ask you, who was your tonight's man of the match? And for anyone who follows or watches the videos that we do over there on United Spurs of America, something we like to do after a win is we give man of the match awards and BDE awards. It's a little bit different than man of the match. It's just maybe you weren't man of the match, but you were a close second, or you just pretty much played like you were the most confident man in the locker room. So I want to hear your man of the match. I want to get your BDE of the match in the chat as well. If you do submit your BDE, just put BDE dash, and then I'll star it and I'll read off those as well as they come in. But Daniel, who's your man of the match and your BDE?
I'm gonna go man of the match. I am. It could be so many, but I'm gonna give it to Emerson. I'm gonna give it to Emerson
Okay.
because I just thought he was fantastic throughout the whole
Yeah.
game, and he almost got someone sent off. Should have been sent off. CH. So no, wow, he's proven me so wrong, and I love the guy. Now, jeez, completely I'm saying that, but
I agree. I agree. Big up, Daniel. Is there anything you want to shout out before I say goodbye to you, my friend? And also, thank you for calling in. Thank you for being the first one to call in as well. This is my first call in with you, Daniel. So, is there anything you want to say or anything you want to plug before you go?
no, I can just big yourself up, Jacob. Brilliant to talk to you, and
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
yeah, go and subscribe to the channel, United Spurs from America, and yeah,
Appreciate
that's all.
that.
And
Thank you for that,
fuck
Daniel.
Chelsea, yeah, fuck
Fuck Chelsea.
Chelsea,
Yeah. Fuck them.
fuck the Rent
Fuck them.
Boys, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Big up, Daniel.
come on, you
Thank you.
Spurs.
Come on, you
Thank
Spurs. Oh, there he goes. First one I already cut off of the day. So I'm off to a beautiful start. If you remember my first week, I think I cut off three of the guests as they were saying goodbye. Now, then the second week, I didn't cut off anybody. I did really good the second week. Maybe that's because Jack was watching, but this is third week. My first guest, I've already cut him off, so I apologize for that, Daniel. Come on, you Spurs, big up yourself. Let me get straight to it. This man has been waiting patiently to come on. He's a new member as well, if I do recall. He bought in not too long. I don't know who the newest member is, but he's fairly new. He's a good friend of mine, so let me welcome in from Talk and Ball. We got Colin. How are you doing, Colin? Thanks for
Oh man,
calling in. Do you get it?
I do. I do. I
Uh,
use that fairly often myself. No, I'm on top. I'm on top of the world, man. I'm doing great.
Big up, Nick, man.
I predicted this win. Check my
Good.
Twitter. Check my Twitter. It's there. But yeah,
Colin,
dude,
if
it
you
was.
remember at the beginning, I didn't mean to cut you off, but if you remember at the beginning of the show, I said if you predicted the win, walk with your chest held high and strut it like you got it, my friend.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I
it
retweeted
took
it.
balls calling that. So good job calling that, Colin.
See, it just works
It
with
just
so many things.
works. It just
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
What?
And
How you feeling? Let me just first off the
lovely.
top see how
It
you
was
feeling.
a wonderful game, man. Comfortable. I felt comfortable pretty much the entire time, which is weird. How often, as a Spurs fan, do you feel comfortable for the whole match? You know?
Probably never.
Yeah. So
Never,
I
because of
really did.
I think the nail in the coffin on that was West Ham under Jose Mourinho. We were up 3-0, and they just came back in like 10 minutes or something.
That final goal too was filthy.
It was a screamer. I'll
Yeah.
never forget it.
Speaking
That
of
one hurt.
screamers though,
Yeah.
right?
Ollie Skip, is that where we're going?
Yeah, Skipp's goal today. Oh my God,
Talk to me about it. How do you feel about it? Talk to me.
struck it as sweetly as he possibly could. I mean, the way it's curling too, you can see. Why can't I never remember the dude's name? I think he's Senegalese, the defender for Chelsea. What's that dude's name? Uh,
Koulibaly?
Koulibaly. The ball literally like as it's curling, curls right away from his head. He jumps up to try to get his head on it, curves right away from him.
Yeah.
Nothing he can do. It was perfect. It couldn't have been struck any better. And I mean, I have a feeling that he hits those in training a lot. If you listen to the post match interview, he and Kane were talking, and Kane said that they work on those all the time. Those second chance, like second time balls, like on the edge of the box. And Skipp was like, "Yeah, I'll just have one. I'll just have a crack here." And it
I love it. I love
it
that.
worked.
That shows some confidence that he was willing to take a shot on from distance like that. He hasn't scored for us. Quite a welcome home, Oliver Skip.
Danny Rose for his Arsenal vibes. Not quite the same, obviously, but you know what I mean. A very, very incredibly well struck goal against a rival, young player. I know it wasn't his debut, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Absolutely. So let me ask you. I'm gonna start off with this, man, because if there's the first person I think about when it comes to being a defender of number 33, Ben Davies, you were the first person that comes to my mind. So let me ask you, what do you make of his performance? For me, 2 out of 2. He's been solid at left wing back. What do you make of it?
We need to keep him there the rest of the season, man. As long as he's fit, he should play there. Yeah, he's been great. It takes advantage of like all of his skills, relieves him of like most of the weaknesses in his game, which are his speed. Uh, he gets cooked 1v1, especially if he's in like a flat back four playing on the left. I think he's been pretty good at center. I honestly think he's been pretty good at left center back. I know a lot of people have issues there, but I think our whole defense isn't functioning well together. I don't think it's really him necessarily as the problem. But anyway, man, these games with him at left wing back, wonderful, absolutely phenomenal. He's earned it. I think he should stay there for a bit. He's above Perisic and Sessegnon for me. What do you think?
I would say he definitely does better defensively than I've seen from Perisic as of late. I've been very unimpressed with Perisic defensively, and that's saying it lightly, honestly, because I don't like what I've seen from him. But he does have nice crosses into the box, so
That's true,
uh,
and better than Davis's. But
yeah,
still, I think
yeah.
Ben Davis is just a solid. He's just a solid player, man. He's our James Milner. He really is. Come in,
James
you can
Milner,
expect him to
oh my
play.
god.
Come in and expect him to play solidly, like all the time. He can play a multitude of positions. I bet he wouldn't be terrible in midfield if you let him play as like the more defensive midfielder. He just seems like he could play anywhere. He's always willing to do whatever he's asked. He's had two great performances. 300th match for us. I couldn't be happier for the guy. I think he's low key part of what makes us work.
Sorry, I was muted there. Big up John Stokes says big up Jacob. Big up John Stokes.
Big up.
I was impressed with Davies. I'm gonna ask you about the back three in general. What did you make of Romero and Eric Dyer and Clement Longley? What did you make of their performances today? Another clean sheet. That's 2 games in a
Yeah,
row now. So what do you think?
Romero was his usual self, which I was glad to see. I'm glad the red card didn't chill him out. I kind of like on the edge Romero, and yeah, if he gets red carded every once in a while, I mean, actually, I take that back. He needs to live right on that edge. I forgot how bad we got thumped whenever he was serving that suspension. But yeah, man, it was good. I mean, Romero played great. I love to see him high up the pitch, causing trouble. He's pretty confident with the ball. Dyer, the back line as a unit played pretty well today. I mean, we played out from the back. Sorry, I'm kind of drinking a kombucha. It's kind of getting to me, man.
Those are
But
spicy.
oh, burpee too. But anyways,
Spicy.
no, I mean we played out from the back a couple
up Wayne
times pretty
Bonner.
well. Wayne, we just looks good, man. The defense looks changed. I don't know where the calmness factors come in. Is it Romero? I don't know. He's got this like cool about him lately. It's been nice. I know you were talking about the back three specifically.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
jumped over to.
Well, I mean, he kind of helps out, on the defensive side. Like I said, when it comes to Ben Davies, you're one of his biggest defenders, and if why not, you can draw the conversation back towards him. More power to you, Colin. I keep getting distracted. I keep getting this little like Wi-Fi alert signal, so I'm also like trying to text my wife, make sure that the Wi-Fi is not dropping out on me. So apologies about that.
You
If my
look good. I don't see any errors.
looks fine, sounds fine. I don't sound like I'm in a tin can or something.
No,
All right,
you're
well, good news. So let's keep it moving about this starting 11. We talked about the back three. While we're back there, let's talk about the big boppy in between the sticks.
Luckily, they
Fraser
didn't
Forster.
put any shots on frame that were low to either corner.
Well, kind of.
You know what I mean?
The first half they had a shot, and it was to his left. He went down to his left and saved it like a big lump of a lovable log he is. I mean, I'm in the goalkeepers union, so naturally I'm going to find ways to defend whoever it is behind
He's
our team.
fine. He's fine. He's got limitations. Every player does. I'm not a fool. You know what I mean? He's obviously good at some things. His distribution's far better than Hugo's, if you ask me. And I think he fills the goal. He probably can reach some things. I just feel like he's obviously slower. He's a slower dude. He's not built for speed, built for comfort, not for speed. And but no, he's fine. I thought he did a great job today. He's commanding.
Yeah.
He plays pretty well. I wish
we
there
would have
was
been
one
down
that
1-0 if he was any shittier of a keeper than he is. If you want to look at it from that lens, in my opinion.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. And there's just one time, it's just you can tell he's getting older. He's like making mistakes. There was a shot where he kind of bobbled it away. I feel like he would have held on to it earlier in his career. But that's fine. I mean, as long as you understand that there's limitations to people.
He wasn't the only
players
one bobbling shit away. That's how Oliver Skipp's goal came. Was Asbilaqui? What's his name?
Well, he got
whatever his name is. Kepa, yeah, that guy. He had an atrocity. Emerson Royale didn't really have a strong shot, and he shot it at him, and he just parried it rather than
one of his own teammates like took it off his feet or took it off his hands. It looked like I don't know. That was bad. Yeah,
I'm here for it. Led to Oliver's goal,
me too.
Hey,
I also want to say I got to go in like 6 minutes. So
okay, 6 minutes. So let me run through this quickly. Midfield: Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Oliver Skipp. We already talked about Skipp. What did you make about Højbjerg? You think he's big papi chulo on the block?
Oh man, killing it. Coming in, always confident, always strong, always ready to fight. But I like that he can like turn on that like charming smile, I think, to the referees, and he'd be like, oh, what? And I think he's good at kind of getting some of the pressure off of them with that. But yeah, he's always willing to fight, to graft. We need somebody like that, especially with Vincent Kerr out. I'm all for it. He did great.
Absolutely. Big up Wayne Bonner. I'll come back to some of these comments after I say goodbye to Colin, but he's got to go in a second. So let me real quick. Front three, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Daniel. This is going to be the same question I ask everybody. Is it too harsh of me to say Dan Kulusevski? Is that harsh, or is it
yeah, it's hard.
accurate?
It's harsh. I mean, it's harsh. What do you?
Or is it too soon? Is it? I just don't think since he's come back from injury, I thought he's just been a shell of who he's been. I thought he was improved in the second half, but the first half and majority he was MIA. I didn't see him, and then the second half, I thought he was just like okay. I thought some of his
second half he was pretty good. His dribbling was good, like you were just about to say. He's got limitations, man. Limitations as a player. He's just not like, if he he doesn't have pace, and so if somebody's stuck to him, he could be pretty easily nullified. You know what I mean? But that takes a defender away from somewhere else. I mean, everyone's playing their role as, and he didn't do great today, but no, I think he did what he was asked to do, and occupied space, pulled defenders. You know what I mean? And yeah, it wasn't a great day at the office, but I don't think it's time yet to start worrying about
Saying Dan Kulisevsky, that's too
yeah,
much.
too soon,
All
too
right.
soon.
Well,
Give him another
if
game
you
or
hear
two.
anyone say that word, you heard it here first. I was the first one, but I hope he proves me wrong, like Oliver Skipp, like Ben Davies, etc. Let me ask you about Harry Kane. He got the goal, very cheeky goal, I might add.
Oh yeah.
I feel like not much to say about him, so I want to ask you about Richarlison instead.
Yep.
What did you make of his performance? No goals, no assists. He was just kind of a physical pigeon in there, shitting all over the place. What did you make of his performance?
He was important too. Just in his like closing down, like running, being relentless. Also occupying space, pulling defenders, being a genuine threat. He defenders couldn't leave him alone because he's willing to take a shot from distance. He's willing to dribble in. So I mean, you have to pay attention to him. He didn't get much accomplished, but I want to keep seeing him get game time, whether or not that's a start. I don't know. Do you think? Here's a quick counter question. Do you think Son did enough when he came on to justify starting over Richarlison?
I mean, I guess it depends on what lens you look at it. Like he created 2 chances versus Richarlison's one created chance. So if you look at it from an attacking standpoint, yeah, he did enough. He created some chances in a very limited amount of time. We saw the same thing versus Leicester. He came on, scored, was still creating, doing a lot to create in that match as well. It's an interesting conversation that I wish we could have for longer. I know you got to go to work, so to be determined. We'll talk more about that, Colin, next time you and I chat. But
Awesome.
to
Yeah,
be
and I'm gonna have
determined.
this on. I'm gonna have this on at
Okay.
work, listening in the background between
Okay.
phone calls. So
Yeah, big up. Make sure you hit that like, Colin, and everyone in the chat as well. Hit that like. We got 80 of y'all in here, so I'm hoping we can get them likes up. Colin, real quick, while I ask you, who's your man of the match and who's your BDE of the match as well?
BDE goes to Skippy. I think after he got that goal, he was on fire. He was really feeling himself. Had a lot of swagger. Made a lot of nice blocks, recoveries. He just played like a man on fire after that. He deserves it. And my man of the match, Emerson.
Emerson, man of the match. All right, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And while I say goodbye, I'm gonna pull up a link. Are you doing some more there on your channel? You got some streams coming up that you want to tell us about?
Well, just the channel's back, baby. And if you want to do me a favor, follow me, right there at the Twitter,
On Twitter.
the Twitter box there. I'll announce shows. I'm trying to figure out when the best schedule is. That's always the game. So I end up doing a lot of these last second things. But if you go ahead and you subscribe to the channel, you'll be notified.
Yeah.
If you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified. You'll know when we're going live. And just did a kit giveaway the other day. And it was a lot of fun.
You gave away a Romero kit, a large Romero kit. So.
Yes, sir. And I'm getting ready to do some more of those. So
Okay.
yeah, just want to kind of keep spreading the love, and yeah, come hang out. It's a fun
Hey,
place.
if anything, it's a good way to try and get your hands on something, whatever you're giving away. So big up, Colin.
Kits.
Thanks for calling in and calling the dub. That's
For
tres
sure.
Collins in one. Big up yourself. Have a good day at work. And there's his channel if you want to check out some more of Colin. Maybe try and get in on those giveaways. Big up, Colin.
Thanks,
Got
man.
anything?
Later.
Got any?
Oh wait. One last thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about calling it the talk shit get kit giveaway. Do you like that? If I continue my shirts, talk shit get kit.
Yeah, I kind of like it, man. Has a ring to it.
Thanks, Jamie Barty.
Do it to it, man.
Hey, come on, you Spurs. Chelsea sucks. Stellini.
You can say fuck Chelsea. I mean, that's what Daniel said earlier.
Stellini is my manager. Stellini ball.
Stellini ball. Come on, Stellini. Big up, Colin. Thanks for calling in. And we will keep it pushing on. Let me run through some of the comments while I make sure my third guest is ready and go. Once I see you unmute, I'll know you're ready. But Portal Dreams, big up Portal Dreams, says great showing for the lads today. I do agree. 1F1 Leicester game was a was the biggest example what we were missing the most. That's a good point there about Romero. Um, Let me see. I believe she's ready. Let me catch up on these comments. Romero has been man of the match more than any player I can remember this season. Big up Portal Dreams. I guess that's who your man of the match is. Tom THFC, great show. Great win. 3 points. Happy Sunday. Big up Tom THFC. Great win. Absolutely. 3 points in Stellini we trust, I guess. At this point, I'm down. Man of the match, Skipp. Second best was Romero. I like it. Savvy. Son was out of position. He played far left. Son corner ended in the goal. There you go. Good point. Shush Spurs. SH Spurs. Shush Spurs. I don't know. Maybe I'm butchering that. But before I butcher anything else, let me bring on the next guest. You know her. You love her. You've seen her here. Big up yourself, Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Very happy camper.
Oh, me too. I mean, like I kind of mentioned off the top of the show, my blood has been pumping since about the 46th minute, which was, I would say, about 7 a.m. my time. So it was a good time. It was a good time for me. What were your feelings on the game? Like, let me just check your temperature and see how you doing. How you feel about today?
Do you know what? It's difficult, isn't it? Because in that first half, we knew that they would have most of the ball. That was probably what I predicted anyway. I thought they would have pretty much a lot of the ball, and we would try and hit them on more on the counter than anything. So it wasn't really a surprise to me that we had less of the ball and perhaps didn't have, lots of, didn't have chances after chance or put pressure on them, because I don't think that was how we were going to play. So it was a little bit disappointing. However, I kind of expected it in a way. I kind of expected it to be that way. So yes, it was a little bit like meh, but obviously, like I say, I kind of expected it. Obviously, that second half got off to an absolute banger with that Skipp goal. What a goal!
What a goal.
Fantastic from him. It's always nice as well. He's young. It's nice for him. He was confident, because he wouldn't have been given a chance had Bentancur hadn't had his injury, because he's just come back from injury himself. And I did say I was a bit concerned whether he'd get back to match fitness, but he had no choice because he had to be chucked in now. We haven't got Bentancur. So it was good. I'm so pleased for him. As a Tottenham boy as well, it is lovely to see like a Tottenham boy getting a goal. Obviously, Kane got his goal as well, but he kicked it off that second half. It was almost like he come out and we had the bit between our teeth after that red card being rescinded. It felt like we had the bit between our teeth. We were like, no, we're going to go on. We could see that they didn't really have much to offer Chelsea. They didn't really have much to offer him realistically, did they? They weren't pelting our goal either, in all honesty. They weren't pelting our goal shot after shot after shot.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's only one save that Forster had to make in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked it up. I don't really look that stuff up immediately after the game. I just ride the vibes. But I know he had that nice save. That's what I remember, him getting down nicely like a big log. But you mentioned the red card getting rescinded. I haven't actually asked anyone. That's a good thing good point that you just brought up. So I'm going to ask you real quick. Do you think it should have been rescinded? Was it a little soft of a yellow or soft of a red?
Do you know what?
A little hard of a yellow? What do you think?
I think that people are saying that he went for his shoulder. However, if you're pushing somebody, the way you push with your fingers, you have your fingers more like, I know it sounds weird, but bent, don't you? Because you bend your fingers and you shove them. But he didn't. He had more of a slap. It looked like he was more slapping than anything. So if somebody is allowed to slap somebody in the face like that, then I don't really know where the game's going, because surely that's not allowed. Because like I say, you'd normally, when you push someone, you shove them, you kind of bend your fingers, but he didn't. He literally full out just slapped him like two girls having a bit of a fight. Girls, when they fight, they slap each other. That's what it kind of was like. And the fact that he rescinded it, I was a bit, because he went to get a yellow, but he got told obviously something that changed his mind. He gave the red, then went over to the monitor instead of looking at the monitor initially to see if he wanted to give the red. I'm not entirely sure.
I think the rules stipulate that he has to he had to award so he had to give if he would have given a yellow. I think the rules are, anyone in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. If you've been watching the show, or listening to the show, I love being proven wrong, because it educates me. So I believe the rule stipulates that if he would have awarded a yellow, he couldn't, or if he had to award the red in order to rescind it and give the yellow, which it all happened so quickly. He gave the red and then just ran right over to the monitor. It was almost like he's like, VAR is telling me to check this, but here's a red for you because this is what I think. And I know, for referees, it's almost a bit of a pride thing that they want to be right. But surely that was a strange situation. That was strange. Hopefully someone can clarify the rules for me, but
What I thought it was strange was because surely he can look at the monitor before deciding to give the red, because can't he just look and decide if they've told him to give possibly a red? There's possibly violent conduct, so can't they just go over to the monitor, then decide? Like I couldn't understand why he needed to give that red, because he didn't have to, surely.
Lisa here, big up Lisa, says, was the foul in play not a yellow? I thought it was. To me, I'm gonna chalk this up as he saw in his peripheral, because you can see his face was like this when he gets pushed, and then I think in the ref's peripheral he sees contact to the upper head region of the man, and so he's like, okay, the precedent is if you strike someone in the face, red. So I think that's what, in my humble opinion, I think that's what happened. Is he saw the strike to the face, whether it be open-handed, closed hand. I mean, to me, it don't matter how you smack them. If you smack them open-handed or closed-handed, that's not very nice. So I don't know. To me, I thought it'd be soft. If it was the other way around, I'd be pretty upset if they gave a red. I would feel better, but it definitely constitutes a yellow. I think we're all in agreement on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do think that. But do you think, I'm not a conspiracy theorist kind of person, but I do feel like that since the thing with Romero and Cucurella, that we haven't been getting decisions. Even the handball the other day, I was a bit like, he scooped it out the way and we didn't get anything. I was a bit like,
you think they're punishing us for the Cucurella mishap thing?
Kind of, like I say, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of
am,
like,
so I'll feed into it, whatever you say.
yeah, I feel like that maybe they've got that in their minds about Tottenham, that we got away with one. So it's almost like maybe, oh, we can't let them, get away with anything else because we messed up massively, because they came out and even said that they got it wrong, which they don't like to do. So I don't know. I don't know, but I do feel like it was a bit of a strange one. It was very strange.
Yeah, a very strange situation. Unique situation too. Kevin Spears says that was a red all day long. He raised his hand to another player. It's irrelevant to me. That's kind of how I saw it. But again, I always judge it based on what I see. But then I also, when it comes to fouls, reds, anything like that, VAR, I see it as, okay, if the roles were switched, if this was my club that it's getting called against or for, how would I see it? And so I try to always put a little bit of that those drops into my water, if you will, and drink that. But to me, I think it's an interesting point, because it's a pretty good divider. Rick C says wasn't a red at all. Wayne Bonner actually says, big up Mia, looking forward to your stream tomorrow. Well, I'll pull up your channel link and I'll plug you here in a minute, but I'm not letting you go just yet, Mia. Don't go anywhere. Wayne Bonner, I didn't actually see what brought out the red card. Again, I think it was just he saw a strike to the face. He didn't know if it was open hand or closed. Taggy 193 is Portnoy the reason we have loads of America's Spurs fans now? No, I became a Spurs fan before I knew who that guy was, or before I knew what Barstool Sports was. Yeah, so I'm just going to say that. If you want to know more about how I feel about that individual, you can go check my channel out, and I'll be a little bit more candid about my opinions. But as this is the Irish Hotspur, I will humbly just say no. No, I knew of Spurs. I was a fan of Spurs before Portnoy. So me personally, I can't speak on that. I don't know about the other American Spurs fans. The elbow from Silva was closer to a red, still wasn't though. Lisa, I meant the foul during the play before the slapping finger poking incident. Maybe it wasn't. No, that's what I thought he was originally going to get a yellow for.
Yeah, me too.
But then he didn't even get a yellow after everything got shaken out.
But you know what I feel like? I feel like that the ref was going to give a yellow, then he heard something in his ear and he didn't want to give 2 yellows yet. I think it felt like he was a bit like stumbling on what he should do. Should he give a yellow here and then see what happens, see if it's a straight red and take away that yellow? Or should he, wait? Because he could have given 2 yellows, to be fair.
I do agree. And part of me felt like that's what should have happened there. A yellow for the foul and then a yellow for smacking a man in the face. But maybe there's a little bit of it on the ref side that's like, well, Emerson did enough to constitute getting a yellow himself. So maybe it was like he retaliated off after a yellow card offense. So maybe he's a little bit more lenient. I don't know. Or maybe he was just the people in his ear says Bowley and the American investors of the Premier League said no red card. Sometimes I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I don't want to feed too much into that. But that's a little bit where I'm at. But Mia, I do want to ask you. We haven't talked about him yet. He got his first goal today, Mr. Oliver Skipp, number 4. What do you make of his first goal and then overall performance?
I thought he was, I think everybody in the first half just put a real shift in, but that second half, they just took it to another level, really, didn't they? And his goal was absolutely beautifully taken. Like, honestly,
it was so beautifully taken.
It was so well taken. And like I said to you, I'm so happy for him as a Tottenham fan as well, coming through the academy. It just makes it that bit sweeter, doesn't it, when they come from the academy? It just is that nice feeling knowing that that's where they've come from. Because if you look at our academy, we haven't, since Kane, had that many good players come through. And Skipp is a really good player. He was very good before he got his injury. And then obviously that injury was a really bad one. So he did take a lot of time out. But yeah, no, it was brilliant. I was so pleased for him. And I think overall that second half, we very much controlled the game. We was in control, really. They never looked like scoring, not really. It just, they didn't really look like they were going to score. We was in absolute control of that game.
They looked like they were thinking about it late there in the second half. I mean, when it was a little bit too late, but they looked like they were thinking about it. Enzo Fernandez had a nice.
But that was like a really late. That was like in the 86th minute.
We were already up 2-0 at that point.
We were 2-0 up by then. What I meant was after that first goal, even after then, we looked like we were going to score the second goal. And when we got the second goal, they just looked like they tried for the last 4 or 5 minutes, and that was it. That's all they had in them. They just was like, oh yeah, we better try, just so the fans don't get on our backs too much. But most of them were walking out anyway. I saw them all walking out, and I was like, oh, cheerio, see you later.
I loved the shot when they cut to the fans leaving, because to me, that's, cake is good on its own, but when you put icing on it, it's even better. And so that was like the icing. And then at the end of the day, when we got the 3 points, that was really like a scoop of ice cream to go with the cake and the icing on top of the cake. So for me, wow, what a goal.
Much. You're making me hungry. You're talking about food. You said to me last time about food. Now you're making me want cake with ice cream.
Mm-hmm. It's a celebrating I'm in a celebratory mood, Mia. Do as this comment says, hit the like one time, or for Skippy's first goal. Do smash on that for the Irish Hotspur and Dave. Tequila, big up Tequila member says, where's David and Jacko? Who are you? Who am I? I'm Jacob. Nice to meet you, Tequila. I'm helping out over here on the Irish Hotspur with David and Jack, helping out with these fan shows. Them two work very hard every game, every match day, which sometimes is twice a week, which it will be this week. They stream for like 10 hours, then they go feature on other people's channels for another couple of hours, trying to make sure that them two deservedly get a break for some food. They deservedly get a break to, hug their family and then get back out there on the battlefield supporting Tottenham Hotspur. So big up Tequila. Hope you stick around. Hope you can smash that like, and hope you can hang out with us. And nice to meet you, man.
If anybody ever
big up Amy.
If anybody ever watched UK Big Brother, who is she? You'll know that from Nikki Graham and her Who Is She? That's what that just reminded me of. Who are you? What are you doing on my screen?
That's hilarious. I've seen Big Brother, but only the American version. And that was like years ago when I was younger. So I haven't seen it anytime soon. But big up Tequila. Thanks for being here. I'm happy today. I'm feeling so great. Big up EYL 279 Eel. Love your commentary, Jacob. I also saw a very nice comment from you earlier when I was talking with another guest, and you had very nice things to say. So I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the day as well. But Mia, let's get back into this amazing performance, in my opinion. A tale of two halves, also, because in the first half, I thought we just absorbed pressure. We sat back and really just kind of accepted it and said, "Hey, we know you're not scoring goals a lot, so why don't you prove us wrong?" And to me, that's scary when you have Dyer in the back. But for the most part, I can't really talk anything negatively about Eric Dyer. What do you make of the back line, Mia?
I think the back line performed really well together today. I feel like they were a really good unit. They stuck together. They made sure they were there. Like when they were like getting balls in, we were first to get that. Like one of them would get their heads to it. Like I felt like it was very, like we stuck really well together as a defensive unit. And I can't say anything about Eric Dyer, but I do feel like he's calmer when Romero's there. It feels like Romero definitely helps that calmness. And I know he's not the calmest of heads, but he's obviously very, I don't know, like he's got this where he's confident. I think his confidence rubs off on him.
Well, to that point, Mia, I mean, this may be a little barbaric of me, but in high school, rival high schools, we would all meet up sometimes, like the dudes, we'd all meet up before a weekend and we would just fight, because if we didn't fight then we'd fight at a party inevitably that we all ran into each other at. So we would just meet up and fight. And you know what, if I'm going into a fight with a guy like Christian Romero, oh my God, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. It doesn't matter if I happen to take a couple punches and fall down. I know he's got my back next to me. I think Royale plays a little bit like that as well, knowing he has Christian Romero to help clean. Christian Romero was cleaning up on the left side. He was cleaning up on the right side. He was cleaning up everywhere. I love what I see. I think he's back in form. Mia, I know you're a big fan of Christian Romero. Is he back? Is he fully back? How long do we wait till we say he's world class?
I would say that he is. We know this from when he was obviously when we got him. He was voted the best, wasn't he? Is it Serie A he was in? Is it Serie A he was in? Oh gosh, I get.
It was Serie A, yeah. He won Serie A Defender of the Year with Atalanta, but I think he was on there. I think that he got from Juventus or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, but anyway, we know he's a fantastic defender, and he's just brilliant. And I do think he's class. And now he's come back, winning that World Cup seems to have just given him that little extra boost, doesn't it? And I know he made a bit of a rash mistake against City, but it feels like that he's now thinking about a bit more about what he does, because he's not even really receiving yellow cards. The last couple of games, he hasn't even received a yellow. So, I think he's maybe kind of got a bit kind of told off maybe and said, listen, you need to calm it down a little bit. You can't be doing silly challenges all the time. Sorry, the dog's barking. You can't.
I heard her dancing around back there. Sounds like sounds like something's riling her up. Taggy says, who's whisking the gravy? I was whisking some pancakes this morning, but not any gravy. I'm going to put this up. Mia, this is your channel. I'm not saying goodbye just yet, but I am going to put up your channel, Spurs Between the Lines. You're doing a great job over there. You just cracked over 200. You're on your way to 300. And before 300 is 400. And then after that, it's just on to the races. So big up yourself and what you're doing over there. I'm going to ask you this. What did you think of Højbjerg? Daniel had Daddy Højbjerg in his name. And there are days in which he is daddy, and there are days in which daddy hasn't come home yet, and it's been a week. What did you make of his performance today? I thought he was very much back to his old self of being confident defensively, being confident kind of box to box. What did you think of Højbjerg's performance today?
Yeah, I thought he was very good today, and I thought he was good for West Ham as well, to be fair. I think he's had a good couple of really good games, Højbjerg. And I think he gets forgotten because it was more of a team performance today. But I do think he gets a bit forgotten. But he is very good, Højbjerg. He just cleans everything up, doesn't he? Like he's the dustman in the midfield. And he is.
I
He's
often call him the janitor.
a janitor. Yeah,
because
we
he's always
don't say
cleaning
that
up.
over
His
here.
job goes underappreciated, I think, sometimes. There's only one person in the world I think gives him as much praise as he deserves, and that's Queen Ellie from THFC Till I Die.
Yes,
We all call her Queen Ellie Hoiberg for a reason.
that's right.
To me, the Jack's comment, there's some weeks where Daddy Hoiberg leaves to get a pack of cigarettes and doesn't come back for a week. Exactly, Jack. You pick up what I'm putting down. You smell what I'm stepping in, my friend. What a man. So, for me, I thought he did the job that he always does that sometimes he gets underappreciated for. Maybe some people are paying a little more attention and appreciating him. Let me ask you about the midfield, as I did ask a few others. Were you on the side? I can't remember. Were you on the side of whenever Bentancur got injured and we were like, okay, are we starting Skipp or are we starting Sar? After Milan, we saw them both start together and they both played really, really well. What did you? What side of the line were you on? Because I was on the side of we should start Sar. I liked what I saw from Sar. I've been proven wrong. What side were you on?
I think I was as well, actually, saying probably I was. I think I said Saar, but I wouldn't be unhappy with Skipp. I just feel like Skipp is more like Højbjerg, and I feel like Saar is a bit more like Bentancur. So I feel like that yin and yang would be in the midfield, but it's actually worked with Skipp. Skipp's done a really good job, so you can't drop him. So yeah, I was also wrong. I put my hands up. I was actually wrong to say Saar, but I wouldn't have been unhappy with either. I wasn't saying, I don't want Skipp to start. I was just saying maybe Saar, because of the way he plays, will be better. But no, it's worked really well with them two in the middle, to be fair.
But that's kind of what Conte said, right after the first time Stellini took over. He said, "Hey, Stellini knows these players. He's with them every single day in training. He picks them for the training drills." I know from my experience working for a professional soccer club that a lot of times your first assistant is the person who does make the selection every day at training. Like when we're working this drill with midfielders, what's my group 1, 2, and 3, right? He puts those lists together for Conte. So when Conte walks out there, he has a list. Okay, this is the list that Stellini's made of the players that were running in these different. So to me, who better to know who to pick the starting 11, when to make the subs, etc., than Stellini, if not Conte? So what do you make of Stellini's performance so far as kind of that substitute teacher role? I think all the kids are behaving for the most part when he's in class. What do you think?
No, they are. I think he gets instructions, obviously, from Conte, and obviously he's going to go with what Conte says. But I think he's managing all of them really well, because obviously they haven't got Conte around. Conte seems a bit more like the strict teacher. I remember when we used to have substitute teachers. One time she got locked in the cupboard. Kids all misbehaved.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that, and she cried. She actually cried. She didn't want to
Oh,
come.
poor. Oh, that's not funny.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Oh,
but
I feel
there were
bad
some
now.
naughty kids in my class.
I'm sorry I smiled, ma'am, wherever you are. Let me ask you, before I let you go, Mia, I've asked everyone, am I premature in my criticism of Dan Kulusevski? Am I wrong to call him Dan Kulusevski?
Well, I think he's had here and there he's improved. So I feel like the second half of games he seems to be a bit better. But I do think I agree with what Daniel said, is that he is being marked by two men. If you watched like today's game, they had two men on him. So he is trying to get past two people. And a lot of the time he does, he does manage it some of the time, but I do think they know now to double up on him. And I feel like that he is being a bit like more marked, but he has done a lot better, I think, in the last couple of games. I do think that injury, he's taken a little while to get back to it. But I think, like I say, he's slowly getting there. I do think he is slowly getting there.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I guess I'm feeling slightly. I'm like, okay, well, if everyone's gonna hate on my Hyungmin daddy, Hyungmin father, Hyungmin Hung, I'm gonna also critique where's the man on the opposite end. What is he doing that's so much better than Son? That if Son can get benched, surely Dan Kulusevski can get benched. Excuse me, Dan Kulusevski. That's just kind of my opinion, but You know, Mia, I do see your point. I thought he in the second half, admittedly, was much improved on what he was doing than the first half. I thought in the first half he was MIA, and that's putting it lightly. But Mia, before I let you go, I'm going to pull up your channel name one more time. There's Mia's channel, everyone, Spurs Between the Lines. And while that's up, I'm going to ask you, who is your man of the match, and who do you award your official Irish Hotspur BDE award to?
Well, man of the match, I'd say Skipp. I think Skipp was fantastic today. I know Royale, he was probably a close second. And the BDE, there's only one man. There's only one.
There's
You know
only
exactly what
one.
I'm going to say.
Come on.
You know
Come
I'm
on.
going to say
Give
Romero.
it to me. There we
Of
go. There we
course.
go.
Of course. In more ways than one, let's just say. I
That's the
reckon.
first one. That you're surprisingly the first call in since I start. Today's the first inaugural, if you will, awarding of the Irish Hotspur BDE award. Something I'm carrying over from United Spurs of America, the channel I do over there with Michael. So thankful that finally we've gotten my man Christian Romero. He's been absolutely on fire lately. Since we've been doing this award, Mia, he's won it the most. And he wasn't even here the first year that we did this award. So big ups him. He's such a
He
madman.
just brings it, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He just
he really
brings
does.
He just brings it every game. And even if he has a slightly underperforming game, he still gives that energy. It's just that energy he gives off to everybody, you know. And I love the way when he does tackles and he just gives people
The
looks on
look,
the floor.
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
exactly
yeah,
what I was about
I
to
love
say.
it.
That
I
look of,
absolutely love that.
the only one he ever slid into and he looked friendly was his own child in the Instagram video.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, check his Instagram.
Yeah, I've
He
seen
does
that.
the slide tackle into his child. And he was smiling and he held the child, so it wasn't anything aggressive like we see from Romero week in, week out. But
Do you know what,
big up.
today, that little cheeky nutmeg that he did? Oh, how beautiful was that? He
Oh,
just done that. And
so
he's
cool.
so
So
cool and
calm.
like chill, like, yeah,
Excuse
man.
me. Hello.
Like,
Excuse me.
that's what
Come
I'm
on.
saying. You can't, that's absolutely and that's him summed up in one word. It's just that pass that he did, that nutmeg pass. That is just him all over. It's just like, yeah, man. Of course, I'll nutmeg you. Just cool. Like, yeah.
Queen Ellie's with you. BDE Romero. Man of the match, Romero.
Yeah, she sent
Come
me a
on.
nice picture of him before the game to make me feel. She's like, "Here's a picture to make you feel happy." I was like, "Thanks."
Also, I want to say big up to Israel Uncovered. Big up Amir. What a historic victory. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, everyone. Big up yourself. Mia, thank you so much for joining me. This is 3 for 3. You've been on every
Yep.
one. And I've cut you off the first one, didn't cut you off the second one. So fingers crossed I don't cut you off this time. But thank you so much for calling in and sharing your thoughts. I hope you enjoy what's left of the weekend and that the week ahead is pleasurable.
Just so everyone knows, I am doing my live 8:45 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. So if you want to join me, and I will be doing my review of the match, and I've got all previews up, reviews. I do lives 3 times a week. So yeah, come and join me if you can.
There it is.
I would very much appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, go and give me a subscribe. And like I said, I provide
Go and do it.
content quite often. So, and also Jacob, go and subscribe to Jacob, the most relaxing voice voted by the Spurs in between the lines fan base. We said, hold on a minute, who's got the most relaxing voice? And we all said it's got to be Jacob. It has to be Jacob.
You know, real quick, you've mentioned that a lot of people were happy that my first of these call-in shows was after Leicester, that disgusting defeat we took to Leicester. So people were kind of, like, you made this a little bit better. So if I can make it better, or if I can fire you up for the win, or if I can make you feel better after a loss, then hey, I humbly accept my
I might
job.
have to also tell my son, because he said to me the first time he heard your voice, he said his voice is so nice and relaxing, Mum.
Oh, very nice. Big shout out to your oldest, because thank you for that. That makes my day. Big up, Mia. Thank you for joining. And as always, come on, you Spurs. You can check it there. Jack has put the link there as well. So please do click it. Hit the subscribe one time for your girl, Mia.
Thank you very much.
Thank
and I'll speak
you.
to you soon.
Absolutely. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Mia. I didn't cut her off. Nice. I've only cut off one person this time. So I'm on a roll. And while I'm on a roll, let me not take any longer in welcoming in. Spoke with him last week. We were feeling good last week. I think we're feeling good this week because I see him smiling down there. We got Dermatron. I like to call him Dermo. How are we doing? From THFC Till I Die, might I mention?
Yep.
How are you doing? How are you feeling, my friend?
I am absolutely buzzing. What a win. What a performance. Look, first half was cagey. Checking each other. But it was like a boxing match. That's how I describe today's game. First 6 rounds, sort of checking each other out, just where counter move, and then the second half we just went for the jump.
Went for it, yeah. And immediately we got that killing strike that really put them back on their back heels if we're still talking boxing, because I like that analogy, Dermot, because it really was like that. And I thought there were maybe we lost round 3, maybe round 4 was kind of questionable. Round 5 we were worried a little bit. But after the halfway mark, we really came out firing, and I agree with you. Let's talk about it. Oliver Skipp scored in the 46th minute, his first goal. Quite the banger, I might add.
Yeah, it was. I was so pleased for him. His first goal for Tottenham as well, and what a shot. What an absolute belter. He took it well, and I was so pleased for him. All the injuries he's been through and all the he's been through ups and downs this season as well. He hasn't been playing well, but I'm just so pleased for him. That will give him the confidence now to go on. And look, I think him and Skipp play well together. Him and Højbjerg play well together. I think they're a better combination than him and Højbjerg and Sarr. Though Sarr's a good player, but I
clearly
just think. Sorry.
I was going to say, clearly you're right. Clearly there's proof in that pudding, because I'm going to ask you real quick before we keep going about the 11, because I've asked everyone this. Where were you on the side of, okay, after the Milan game, Bentancur was injured. Højbjerg, we got to see the most of Sarr and Skipp on that day at the San Siro. So my thought going into it was, okay, I want to see Sarr playing with Højbjerg. Was kind of what I wanted. And humbly been proven wrong. What side of the fence were you on?
I think we all wanted Sarr, but I think if you're thinking up more logically, I think it would have been Skipp, because Skipp's got that experience of playing with big up Taggy, playing with Højbjerg, and I think he had that connection with him at the end of last season, and I think he's got that sort of chemistry with him. So I think it would have been Sarr. I would have loved to have Sarr in, but Skipp just has that edge in him, I think, and it's been proven right, because he's been at 2 games he's played. He's been outstanding.
Absolutely.
And fair play to the team as well. You've got to give the whole team credit. For Dyer, you've got to give Dyer credit. You've got to give Davis credit. Foster as well was immense. They didn't have a lot to do, but when he was called upon, he was there. Dyer was very good today as well. Davis again on the wing back. I think we found his position now. I think we've sorted our wing backs at last. And I think it was a good win over a poor Chelsea side that are lacking confidence. And as soon as that first goal go in, you can see the heads dropping. You can see the confidence being smashed out of them. And look, it's a good one. It's the first time we've beaten them, I think, at our new stadium, and it's a good way to break that hoodoo now. We are one of the top teams in London now, and Chelsea on the way down, and Chelsea do get battered everywhere they go. I'm just so buzzing after that today. It's just what a way to spend the Sunday.
What a way. I mean, like I kind of mentioned earlier in the show that I woke up very, very early for this, Dermot. And by the 46th minute, I did not need any more coffee at that point. The blood was flowing. So I was through the moon with what I saw, and I'm still buzzing about it, honestly. Harry Kane gets another goal, stays alive in the hunt for the golden boot, if you will. So let me ask you, you mentioned Ben Davies. I've been talking a lot about the wing backs because I think that is a very pertinent thing in the Conte system. Ben Davies, left wing back. Sessegnon got injured. Perisic, he's a liability defensively as of late. Ben Davies 2 out of 2 now at the left wing back. I mean, what are we going to do now? I mean, are we ever going to see Perisic start again, or is it just the Ben Davies show?
I think you may see Perisic on Wednesday for the FA Cup game, but I think for the league games you will see Davis start there. He's done nothing wrong. He's been up and down that wing. I have never seen. That's how Conte loves his wing backs, just constantly up, down, up, down. And whatever's happened to Emerson, he's suddenly just grown a pair, or he's bucked up his ideas. He was outstanding today again.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
absolutely.
You can't fault them. They're really putting in the shift, and there seems to be a great togetherness with this Tottenham squad now.
Yeah,
Whatever
absolutely.
it is, I don't know if it's to do with Conte not being well, or they feel they owe the fans something, which they do with some of the performances this season. And
they've been getting booed a lot. I mean, they've been booed a few times this season. I know today the boo was for the ref because
don't talk to me about the ref. That was
well. Talk to me about it, Dermot. I didn't get to talk. I forgot about the freaking rescinded red card because Dermot, as you know, if you've heard me a few times say it, that I don't like games being, won or lost by the refs. I don't think that that's a good excuse, regardless of the call, whether it went your way or not, because outside of his call, you have the rest of the whole fucking match to get business done. So my thought is the ref doesn't determine the game, we do. The call, it gets rescinded. So I forgot about it, and I haven't really asked anyone. But I'm going to ask you, what did you think about the little card situation there at the end of the first half?
I have a theory that VAR are running the games, not the referee. The referee is just there as a mouthpiece. It's the man in the VAR office that's saying, yeah, no, the referee's just there. You could say the referee's there just for a PA exercise. He has to be there. But it's VAR that's telling him.
Why don't we get to hear what they're telling him? Because for me, if there's some dude in a box fucking miles away from where the action's happening and he's determining what happens, to me, I don't like that. That's Big Brother overseeing all. They're supposed to be their assistant referee, video assistant referee, not head dude in charge, not, head of household. That's a Big Brother term, I believe.
It is a very Big Brother.
There you go.
You look at the NFL, Jacob. You look at the NFL in America. The referee, every time he makes a decision, he stands in the middle of the pitch and he explains why they made the decision. Either it's offside,
tell me
they've moved forward, or something like that. Today was ridiculous. If you raise your hand, it doesn't matter if it slipped off his shoulder or not. If you raise your hand and it touches another opponent's face, it's a sending off.
Okay.
And
the chat was a little torn on that, Dermot. The chat was a little torn. The chat said one of them was like, you strike the face, it doesn't matter. Kind of what you're saying, like hands above the neck area. Doesn't matter if it's open or closed. I mean, and if it's not on a football pitch, it's classified as abuse or assault, if I'm not mistaken, whether you're open-handed or closed hand.
Yeah, he reacted. He reacted to... Now, maybe Emerson should have barged into him, but if you're running at full pelt and you're trying to stop, these things happen. But you don't react to it. The referee showed him a yellow, then somebody said to him, right, that's a red card, send them off. And then VAR again said, no, it's only a yellow. So... why not go to the monitor if you're not sure? Go to the monitor first time round. Why send the player off? Go to the monitor. Make yourself look like the biggest idiot in the world to say, oh, sorry, I got it wrong. You can come back now. It makes you think that he's a bit of a Tottenham. He's got the VAR has got an agenda against Tottenham, which they do. B, the referee should have a pair of balls and actually stick by his decision. Look, I'm sending them off. It's my decision. They can appeal it with the Premier League or the FA. Later on.
Straight red. Or if not, 2 yellows.
Yeah.
The foul was a yellow, in my opinion. The foul was a yellow. Yes, Emerson did constitute enough for a yellow by running up, putting a little chest and mustard behind his push. But it doesn't matter. In any sense where I've seen people get striked to the face, doesn't matter if they were antagonized to do so, they still get penalized.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that today.
No, I think also it's a... Tottenham now have got this attitude. Ferguson used it so well when he was at Aberdeen in the early 80s. You ever watch early documentaries of Alex Ferguson and his early days in Scotland, the great Aberdeen sides, especially with the Man United sides of the 90s and early 2000s. It was very much Tottenham now, everyone hates us. VAR's against us. The referees against us. Mia
brought up the Cucurella thing when Romero pulled him and they botched that. I mean, by all accounts and purposes, that didn't look appropriate.
No. And also, Chelsea were diving in that first half. There was a tackle on Sterling, I think, in the first half. Sterling, he never even got touched, and he rolled over in the penalty area like he'd been shot with a 12-barrel shotgun. I mean, where's the ref standing? Where's the ref about, yellow carding them for diving?
Yeah.
They were diving all over the place.
That's the thing is I haven't seen cards. I mean, Emerson did dive at one point too. So if you're not going to, I'm glad that if you're not going to throw it to anyone else, you don't throw it to us. Cucaracha, not cucarella. He's a cockroach.
For me, Romero is
big up Neil Shafton.
Big up Amy. Look, Romero was. I've always say, you've been Romero when you see him go into a tackle. It's an old lad years ago when I was a teenager called "You've Been Tangoed," and it's sort of like you've been Romero.
Yeah.
It's just he was immense today. I think, look, the whole team can take credit from a brilliant second half performance, and it proves that the team are still for Conte. It proves the players are playing for him. Now, I think we're going to have a great run to the end of the season. I think we're going to do the same thing as we did last year. I think Newcastle lost today now in the League Cup final, so that's going to take a bit over. And I think now we've got to keep this momentum going. Win on Wednesday, win next Saturday, and then win against AC Milan. Let's keep this momentum going. And look, I am really, really happy we've beaten Chelsea. We don't normally beat Chelsea. This is our, I think, 8th win in 61 Premier League games against them in the whole era of the Premier League. So I am over the moon. Fair play to them. Very proud Spurs fan this evening. Absolutely buzzing.
That actually leads me into something I do want to talk to you about, Dermot. Tempest Fugit says, do you want Conte back? Stellini broke the curse today. We witnessed it live. Do you want Conte back when he's healthy and ready to go? That gallbladder's good. He's had enough family time. He's ready to get away from the family and get back to work. What do you make of it?
Yeah, Conte come back. Look, Conte's hands all in that performance today. His fingerprints are in that pie. It's like doing the pie. His hands are in that pie. Stellini may be saying to him, look, this is what I want to do. But Conte is saying, look, do this. But if you want to add something to it, do it. If you know what I mean. He's giving them a bit of license to roam free.
But Conte he said just as much that in game, like he said that I let Stellini pick the team because he knows the players best because he works with them every day in training. And that I can see why he would just leave it to Stellini. I mean, some people, like you said, you say you think that his fingers are definitely in that pie. To me, I do agree. This is Conte's kitchen, but he didn't make that pie. That's Stellini who put those ingredients together, that amount of salt, that amount of pepper, and them celeries and all that. He made that pie. But yes, it is under the Conte kitchen. He used Conte's knives. He used Conte's ingredients. He used all of that. But my thought process, and I'm going back to food, Mia. I hope you can go eat because I'm making myself hungry. I'm getting hungry now too. Especially when I think about what Stellini's in there cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's almost like Gordon Ramsay's not there, but his next up is, and the food's maybe a little bit better to some people's opinions.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. Look, I think he's done a brilliant job since Conte's been out ill. I think he's still unbeaten. I think the players respect him, which is a big thing as well. And I think this is whatever's happened to Conte, this is sort of drawn the team together, the squad together. Look, we're going to do it for him. And look, that proved today we can do it. We're defending better. We're defending as a unit. Something's clicked in the back five for some whatever reason. Our midfield, we got this togetherness, this sort of fightness in us. That look, we don't care what anyone else says. We're doing it, and we're doing it together.
Absolutely. Sorry about that, Mia. That's funny. Sorry, I couldn't help but go back to the food. I'm gonna pull back up. Here's Dermot's channel. Dermot, I'm not done with you yet, so don't think I'm shooing you away. But here's Dermot's channel, THFC Till I Die. I starred actually one of your compadres, your comrades. I starred one of her comments. She's at the bar celebrating right now, but we all know and love her. It's Queen Ellie Hoybjerg's. I started this from damn near 20 minutes ago. I'm going to ask you this. She says, wasn't Sterling a shadow of the player he was at City, and Emerson is a man who's come out of the shadows and is excelling? I wanted to more ask you, we've lightly touched on the Emerson thing. Feel free to touch on that as much as you want, but the Sterling thing, I thought he was kind of active in the first half, and then he disappeared. What do you make of that?
He was very active in the fact. Look, Sterling, I think it was a mistake him going to Chelsea in the first place, and that's just my own opinion. I think if he stayed at Man City, I think Pep was treating him right. He wanted more first team football. All players want to play all the time, so you can't.
I guess unless you're Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
No, that's a fair comment, actually. To be fair,
leave your boyhood club for money and a seat on the bench.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Good on you.
Good on you. I guess you don't care about the fucking game, but sorry.
We should actually dedicate a show to Calvin Phillips. Just say, look, what not to do.
It's a good example, anyway.
Good example. Look, Sterling is. I think he's dropped a bit of pace as well. I don't think he's as quick as he was. Look, if he's not happy, then he'll move again. But I think there's rumours about him going back to Man City. He wants to go back there again.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea's a mess. Chelsea is an absolute mess. And Emerson today, I'm so proud of him. I'm so pleased for him. I really am. He's improved. It shows that Pero can't even get a game now. And we bought him to take his place. And something's clicked in his...
Can't even crack it.
In his head, like, right, I need to step it up here.
Mm-hmm.
And he really has. And fair play to him. And he had Sterling in his pocket in the second half. So, do you know?
But I mean, that's not that hard to do. Sterling at City, if you remember, Japhet Tanganga pocketed him when we had Nuno. So it's not an impossible task. I just don't think he's that good. That's kind of I don't think he's as good as he once was. Real quick, back on Lisa says, Stellini said the players are taking more responsibility because of Conte's absence. Dunkelsdork, I hope I didn't butcher your name, my friend. Big up yourself.
Just give us 1 minute there, Jacob. But 1 minute, I'll be back.
I'll catch up on the chat. I'll catch up on the chat. No worries. Oh, see ya. Dunkelsdork, big up, says, yes, get Conte back, please. Amy Carcatera, people on Twitter say we want Stellini. It's an interesting topic. Do you want Stellini? Do you want Conte? Stellini's undefeated. He has not taken an L in any of the absence. So it's an interesting debate. That's what I find so interesting, is there's a lot of areas of our team where you can look at it and say, a lot of fans will say this, and then a lot of fans will say that. And it's interesting because, like everything with Tottenham, there's such a divide on opinions. But apparently Twitter is looking like it's Stellini gang, aka Shegs. Big up. I think you said you're in California, so you had to wake up earlier than I did. You had to wake up around 5 a.m. You want Conte back. TJ Conte the Don. Neil Shafton, first win in 5 years against Chelsea, and Kane gets his 9th consecutive season with 20 goals. Get in. I mean, there's a picture of Kane with balloons that say daddy for a reason. He is that man. He is that guy.
18 goals, 20 for the season now. He's catching Haaland.
He's second. He's still hanging on to second. Real nice. I like it.
I can see him actually get the golden boot. I don't think Haaland... I think the Premier League has shown up Haaland. He's okay against the smaller teams, but against like the Man Uniteds and the Tottenhams and the Arsenals and all the bigger sides, the top 7 sides, he's been found out. He really is.
Yeah, 1,000%. Big up Ian Ferguson, afternoon all. Great win today. It might have been early for you as well, Ian. Big up yourself. Eel says players seem to play more cohesively and fluidly when Stellini at the touchline. Maybe it's just like the substitute teacher thing we were talking about with Mia. you often will see a student's true colors when the master is not home.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of that. I was a little bit more of the rambunctious type. I would give the substitute teacher a hard time, but it really looks like kind of what Lisa was saying, that the team is really, these players are really rallying around each other. And I like to see it.
I do too, but I go back I know I'm used as an example, but you look at the Fergie teams of the Man United era when they were really successful. Players were scared stiff of Fergie.
Yeah.
And it worked. It does work. If some players don't like that, but the majority of the players, we've got to do it well here, or we're not going to be playing in the next game. And I think that's what Conte does. Some players can cope with the pressure, some can't. And you're seeing that now. You're seeing Dyer, apart from the Leicester game, playing well. You're seeing Davis now playing well at left wing back. And maybe it's something to do with the pressure of the manager on the touchline, up and down the touchline, barking. And I think some players can't cope with that pressure. That's where the likes of Romero and Emerson. And I think Emerson's another example of that. Maybe he's finding, with Conte not there, less pressure to perform. Maybe it's a wild suggestion, but that's just how I look at it.
Yeah.
That some players
I think
can't
it's fair
cope
to
with
say.
the pressure.
Real quick, TJ says, I don't know why you're so sure that this is all Stellini. Firstly, I didn't say it was all Stellini. I said we were in Conte's kitchen, but I did say Stellini made the pie. He used the ingredients that Conte gave him, but he made the pie that we saw today. The tactical in-game situations, the selection of the 11, I'm pretty certain. I would say about 99.9, because unless I was dreaming, I remember reading a quote from Conte the first time he went missing, I think was for the red card versus Chelsea, actually, 6 months ago. I think I remember reading a quote, I'm damn certain, him saying, I let Stellini pick the team and make the substitutions because he sees these players day in, day out. So that's the first part. And then Conte spoke with all the staff multiple times a day, every day. Exactly. I never said that he didn't. Sort your head out. That's not very nice. My head's pretty well sorted. I'm just speaking on what I know, but I'm always welcome to more knowledge and to be enlightened. But let's just keep it a little respectful, because I think my head's in place.
Please respect Jacob. He's doing a fantastic job with these fan shows. They're really enjoyable. So just show, you may have a different opinion. Please respect the gentleman, because he is a lovely man. He's a top bloke, and he's very well liked and well respected within.
Appreciate that. And so fair play, TJ. Challenge me. I enjoy. I've said numerous times throughout this program, I enjoy being wrong, because one, you get to learn, and two, if I'm wrong about something with Tottenham, that means something good happened for Tottenham 9 times out of 10. So
I'm 90% wrong all the time, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. We got Neil Shafton. We got that Emil Lagasse. I don't know who that is. Putting in some bam into that gumbo. That's a spicy meat. Yeah. That's a spicy gumbo. I know that much. I like the Stellini pie. They're doing pies in this pub. I think I may order one. There you go, Queen Ellie. I set you up for success. TJ, when we win 10 out of the last 14 last season, who was in charge? Conte, argument done. Yeah, he was. But I'm talking about this season. I'm talking about since he's been hurt and been gone. That's all I was talking about.
Can I also add to that? Who was his assistant? Who was helping him in training every day? Who was
fair play?
Who was helping him making decisions? So the decisions is Conte's, but who was saying to him, "Look, what do you think about this player? And they're always, that team will talk to each other. There are everything out in the open. Conte would take responsibility, but he will take all the information in. It's like putting information into a computer. You put all the information in, the computer does it itself, but you have to feed it information. It's like Conte has these assistants and coaches, they feed him the information, and then he makes a decision. It's not just a Conte thing, it's a team thing. And that's where it should be. Or that's where it's all.
And we're all on the same team here, right? It's not that don't get it twisted. Look, if anyone needs any understanding of how I feel about Antonio Conte, I've got a little doll of him, a little tiny little figurine of Antonio Conte. He sits right here in my office. He watches me when I do things in here.
I just want to show my, this is my voodoo Lego doll for the Arsenal manager. So before each match, so for each match, I sort of go, right, come here, Lego man. This is what I do to it. A bit like Muhammad Ali did to Joe Frazier.
That's a good shout. Hey,
Before
you
the
started it
thriller
with
and-
boxing. You brought it back
you
to
know,
some boxing. What a good
yeah,
little storybook there.
He did it before the Thriller in Manila, or the banter. No, I'm a massive fan of Muhammad Ali. I love all that 70s, 60s, 70s boxing. Him, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. I love all that. So I'm a massive boxing fan anyway. So, but it today was like a boxing match. It was like a big heavyweight fight, and that's the only way to describe it, because the first half was so arm's length. We do a bit, you do a bit. We feel each other out, and I think whatever was said at halftime, or the red card really got on the players' noses. I think that was that lit the blue paper sort of underneath Spurs. Right, let's go out, let's get at them, let's put them to the sword.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Queen Ellie, she seconds a lot of what we're saying here. Love the unity. We're all fighting. Sorry, I just realized I'm like super behind on the chat. Shout out everyone in the chat who's been chiming in. Big up yourselves. Make sure you do hit that like one time for the one time. David and Jack Kanicki over here at the Irish Hotspur. I'm Jacob Walraven, your humble host, bringing you after a win. This is the third fan show I've done. So if you haven't, please do check out the channel I run over there. But big up, Dermot. You've had a great call. I think everyone so far has agreed for the most part.
You're all very kind.
Yeah, 4 points. 4 points off of Chelsea this season. That's absolutely true. And
Yeah,
the first one you could say even led to maybe Tuchel getting sacked.
Yeah, and I think Potter may get the sack as well. We may be waking up in the morning. Harry Potter has been in trouble with Dumbledore with his wand, so there may be some breaking news at Hogwarts in the morning. Maybe Ron and Hermione may be taking temporary charge of Harry Potter's Chelsea.
How would that look, though? Because literally yesterday he went to the press conference joking, "Oh, I just got out of a crisis meeting," and everyone thought it was so cheeky and cute. "Oh, Mr. Potter, you're so funny. Oh, give me some more jokes, Mr. Potter." And we fucking smashed him. Now, the temperature that I've gauged from some of the Chelsea fans is a lot of them are like, if we lose to Spurs, that's it. He's done. A lot of them were like, you know what? We just gotta trust that we spent $600 million for a reason. And at the end of the day, Todd Bowley picked Graham Potter. That was his manager that he selected. These are his players that he brought in. I think as an American, he's gonna have that stubborn billionaire attitude of really sinking his heels in and riding this thing out. I think we won't see a sack until if they finish like 10 to 15. At the end of the season, I don't think he'll sack him. I think it's too early for him to do it. Can't sack two managers in one season, can you?
Abramovich did. Abramovich was
a little bold, that guy.
Yeah, but he was fair enough. He was to the point. If you saw something going south, you're out.
He did pull the plug quicker than maybe I would have expected, or a lot of others.
Look, I look at the Chelsea situation. The chairman has bought, or whoever, the owner of the chairman has bought players he wants. So, in all fairness, he has to give Potter a chance to make it work. He has to give him the rest of this season and possibly the start of next season. If he doesn't, then he needs to get a manager in as soon as possible. But please, Mr. Chelsea owner, don't do anything. Just leave Potter there. I am loving this.
But see, I'm a little hesitant to do that, Dermot, because I said the same thing last year when everyone was saying sack Arteta. When all the Arsenal fans were saying, get him out, Arteta out, I was like, no, let him stay. Let him stay. And now it's like, man, they should have fired him and brought in someone else. Hopefully,
but this is Chelsea. This is Chelsea. They're a little club from West London that can't play together. You
don't think that at some point, all these acquisitions they made, that they'll start gelling? You don't think that? I fear, because I think Enzo Fernandez is a quality player. Mudryk, I think, is a quality player in his technical abilities. It remains to be seen on the playing field tactical level. But trait-wise, he's got the traits. So there's no reason. Only questionable thing, I think, is the butterfly tattoo. I don't know why, but hey, my friend's got a butterfly tattoo for his dad, and it makes sense. It makes sense to you, then I'm all for it. But look,
I just don't think, Jacob. Look, I think Chelsea will get it right in the end, but I think it's going to take longer than what they thought it was. They thought they could fix the problem by spend, and it doesn't work. You've got to find the players for that position. Now, we may criticize Paratici and Levy for not spending too much money, but look, we bought 2 players last January. We got top 4 out of it.
Mm-hmm.
we bought a couple of players this January. It's filled up the squad a bit, and it's gyvanised the squad. It's got the squad going for every reason. So you don't need to spend billions to get to make it to be successful. Yeah, we could spend more. I'll accept that. We could buy more players. I accept that. We need centre backs. We do need have a good summer, but I think it's spent in the range of what, nearly 900 million or something.
I think it's 600 with Bowley.
600, yeah, 600 plus what they spent before. So if you're looking at probably around 900 million altogether, and they got a bunch of 11 players that don't know each other. They don't know how to play with each other. And they're all playing they're not playing as a unit. And it showed today in that second half, we played as a team. Chelsea played as 11 individuals. And the manager doesn't know how to wave his magic wand, excuse the pun of Potter, but he doesn't know how to fix that. Now,
great pun, by the way.
Yeah, but that means do Chelsea sack their manager and get another one in? Who says he's not be able going to fix it? So, I can remember Chelsea being not successful at all, fighting relegation, always in the bottom half. It's only till Abramovich came that they started getting good, but you cannot buy your way out of trouble. I don't think that works anymore. It used to work. Blackburn did it in '95, Jack Walker. Man United did it, Liverpool did it, but the successful sides always bought one or two players every year, just refreshing the squad up a bit. You cannot just go out and be the biggest spenders in January window. It doesn't work. And then you end up with players that maybe 2 years down the line that you don't want, but because you got them on an 8-year contract, you can get rid of them.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're running into we're running into it at this point too. Before I let you go, Dermot, and I catch up on this chat and then say goodbye to all you lovely folk. Amy Carcatera says, why are Spurs fans so divided and other fans of different teams are together for a change of coaching staff, front office? Thanks in advance. For me, I think Spurs fans are so divided just because we care so much. Maybe it is. Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. We care so damn much. It's almost like politics or religion for some of us, because it's like, you can't convince me I'm wrong because X, Y, and Z, or this is why I'm right because X, Y, and Z. And I think it's when we hold these things so near and dear to us, it's naturally that if you don't see eye to eye, you're going to hold true to your belief on it. Because for me, I hold Spurs very close to my heart. It's a life thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's an experience. And I think for some people, it's it can become personal very quickly. But for me, that's my answer for that anyway. Thank you, Jack Knigge says, fabulous job tonight. Dermot, I know somewhere. Phil Coy, big up to you both. Jacob and Dermot, big up. Great call as always, Dermot. Jamie, big up. Jamie says, just relieved the squad did not throw the game today to save Potter from their homicidal fans. Real quick, here is the link for Dermot's channel. Dermot, when is actually I started a question from Daniela Zito said, big up Dermot, when is the next stream on THFC Till I Die?
We were going to do one tonight, but I've decided to have the weekend off. Just going to chill out rest of the night. Going to cook the rest of the dinner for my other half, and then go up and watch wherever. Finish on what we're watching. I had to come on quickly because I saw you on. I was so buzzing. I had to come on and just speak Tottenham. Yeah, we're back on tomorrow at 12:30 with News Round, me and Queen Ellie. And then we're tomorrow night, I think we're on from 5 or 6 o'clock with a pre-match show, with a post-match show about Chelsea. Tuesday, then we're back on. We're on every day at 12:30 with News Round. Then every night we've got Golden Game on Tuesday, and we've got a couple of debates this week as well. We've got the watch along on Wednesday for the FA Cup, and then we've got a big debate on Thursday as well. We're going back to the 50s to 1991 with our rating the managers under different owners, under different eras. We did the Sugar years. We're going to do now the pre-Sugar years, and then next week we're going to do the ENIC years. So that's what we're up to. But I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the game on Wednesday, and I cannot wait to the AC Milan match. Can't wait to meet Jack and Nick as well, and see Ellie and all the gang over in Tottenham. So looking forward to that. So come on, you Spurs, we can do it.
Come on, you Spurs, we can do it. You heard it here from Dermot. Go on and check his channel out. Him, Ellie, and Philip Brady, correct? The
Yeah,
Godfather.
and Mia as well. Mia,
And Mia, yeah, y'all
can
do
I
some.
just say, I just want one thing. The three of them are such a massive help for me when it comes to the channel. Philip, Ellie as well, and Mia, all three of them always there, always ready to help. So I'm very, very lucky. And look, we have our disagreements on content, but that's normal. But deep down, we're a united team on that team, and we all stick together. We all do whatever we can. So big up to them. I couldn't do without them. And also, please, everyone, get over to Jacob's Unite Spurs of America. Really enjoy watching his shows. And also, lads, everyone, get these guys to 10K, Dave and Jack. And Jack,
Yeah.
I'll see you next week in Tottenham. So we'll have a nice drink before the match. So
Come on. Yeah, aren't David and Jack going to be in Tottenham soon? So.
Me and Dave are going over. We're flying over on the same day. Me and Dave are flying over. Actually, tomorrow week we're flying out of Dublin, and we're doing 2 days over there. We're doing some pre-content stuff over there, and then I don't know when Jack and Nick fly in, but I'm sure we're going to meet up with them before the game. So looking forward to meeting Jack and Nick. Haven't met them before, so looking forward to meeting them. And yeah, we'll have a good time. Looking forward to it. Come on, you Spurs.
Absolutely. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Dermot. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for everyone who's been in the chat. I'm very humbly proud that you all have joined me today for this fan show. Dermot, have a good, safe trip, and thank you again for calling in 2 weeks in a row with me here.
Yeah,
on
I
Irish
love
Hotspur.
talking to you, man. I love
It's a
talking
good
to you.
time. I enjoy it, man.
You're so relaxing. It's like
Thank you.
talking to you. It's like, right, I feel chilled now. I feel that's it. I've talked to a nice, calm person. I feel chilled. Let's crack on with the rest of the Sunday evening.
I love it, Dermot. Thank you for those kind words, because if anything, win or lose, that's what we need. Just a little bit of support all the time, whether we win or lose. I'm gonna find some way to be feeling good about it, because at the end of the day, I love this club too much to get myself too down for too long. There was a little bit of darkness there in this season, but it seems like the sun's come out, peeking out behind the clouds, and it's looking nice. So thank you, Dermot, for those kind words. Big up yourself. Go check out Dermot at THFC Till I Die with Queen Ellie Hoybier, Philip Brady, and Mia from Spurs Between the Lines. Thank you, Dermot. We'll say
thank you very much, Joe.
Yeah, thank you
Good
again.
night, sir. Have a great week. When are you on next?
I will be on United Spurs of America. Probably, I'll do a pop-up show probably after the midweek game that we got. I might do one if I can't wait. Sometimes I just can't wait. Sometimes I can't wait till the middle of the week or till the Friday show. Every week on United Spurs of America, we got a Friday show. I believe 10:45 p.m. Over there for you in Ireland. Over there for everyone in the UK. So come check us out over there. We have weekly guests. Sometimes it descends into madness when the other half of United Spurs isn't there, Michael, which he wasn't there last week. So we were a little madness on the week.
Nothing wrong with madness. That's what Spurs fan is all being about. Being a Spurs fan, you have to be a bit mad.
No, I 1000% I agree with you, buddy. Big ups, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Big up,
and
Jacob.
Even better tomorrow. Big ups, brother.
Yeah. And I'll speak to you soon. So God bless you, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. Big up. Come on, you Spurs. Go check them out. THFC Till I Die. I'm going to run through a couple of these comments here before I end off, just because I do want to show some love for everyone who's been sharing their opinions in the chat. Phil Coy says Spurs players need to be looking at United lifting that trophy today, and using that as motivation. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely. So I guess I've been doing this show. I didn't know. I saw them that they were up 2-0 versus Newcastle. So I'm kind of glad that United won it rather than Newcastle if I had to choose between the two, because honestly, I did not want to see Newcastle lifting that, because then we would definitely be the talk of their town as well, because, we won a trophy before Spurs, et cetera, et cetera. So didn't want to hear that. Big ups. We should have won the Carabao Cup a few years ago, but you know what? It's all good. We move. FA Cup is ours this year. Who's telling me no? Dermot the King, long live the King. Woo! Queen Ellie, big up yourself. Mile High Hotspur, very great conversation. Dermot, big up United Spurs of A. Big up Mile High Hotspur. Go check out Mile High Hotspur as well. They are on the road. They have a channel, Leo Coys and Parker. Go check them out. Two really good dudes. They call in here. They call in We Are Tottenham TV. You've probably seen them around, but Mile High Hotspur on YouTube. Please go check them out for me if you do. Big up Jack Kanicki in the chat. He's been helping me out all show. Big up Mia for calling in earlier. Let's see. Jammy says, big up Jacob and Dermot. Got to shoot. Come on, you Spurs. Jammy, you know that's my send off. Thank you. That's so great. Oi, oi. Taggy, big up Taggy's been in the chat. And again, no, I didn't follow Spurs because of that guy whose name I will not mention. Neil Shafton, Humble Pie. Amy says, thanks so much. Yeah, no problem, Amy. Thank you for being here. You've been here throughout most of the show as well. If you have been here, if you have not been here, please do hit that like for David and Jack. They are on the road to 10K. We need to help them get there because you know what? I can't think of two better lads that deserve it. So get them there to 10K. Myself and Michael over on United Spurs of America, we're almost at 1K. So if you can, please do the channel is pinned at the top from Jack. So big up Jack for pinning that. You can click that, help us out, get to 1K will be a huge help. I'll be so super, super thankful for that. But otherwise, you probably see me here again at some point, helping out with these fan shows. But do as Taggy says, enjoy your evening, lads and ladies. Thank you, Andy James, for the great show. Fuck Dr. Tottenham. Exactly. Fuck Dr. Tottenham. The sun will come up tomorrow. Mia, great job, Jacob. Thank you so much, Jack. Time to roll a bat. You damn right about that. Roll 2 bats for that matter. There's the channel. If you haven't already, please do click it. Show me some support. That would be absolutely. If you don't want to do that and you just want to keep it here on the Irish because you trust the Irish because it's a great place to be, I understand that. Just hit the like on this video, hit the subscribe, share it with your mother, your brother. They all want to watch the Irish Hotspur and United Spurs of America. So please do that. Do not wait any longer because these two lads deserve to get 10K. Let's get them there. Then after that, we'll do 20K. But for now, let's worry about getting the Irish Hotspur to 10K because they deserve it. They work so damn hard all year round, even in the off season. There's no off season for those two. So please do make sure you hit the like, not just for me showing support for me doing this, but show the support for the Irish Hotspur. Thank you, Lisa. You've been in the chat all night as well. Says, great job, Jacob. Neil Shafton Madness. No one stepped beyond today for Chelsea. Seeing Man U lifting the trophy, I'd give up top 4 all day long to have that feeling. Let's do it. That's what I'm saying. FA Cup. If we win that and got 6, I'm perfectly fine because you know what? I just want that damn trophy so bad. Echo says, Jake sounds like a midnight DJ. Mellow. Thank you, Echo. I appreciate that. A lot of people say I'm mellow, and that's very nice to hear because I try not to be too rambunctious if I can't help it. Chelsea playing Embarrassment by Madness today. Queen Ellie, Jacob, you look fly with that bandana. It's like a head wrap thing. It's not actually a bandana, but big ups. Any Spurs channels, drop your links. Taggy. Hope you went over there and subscribed to me, but do go subscribe to Mile High Hotspur as well. Mary W. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Mary, for the fine comment. Please do hit that like. Jacob Axel Rose, great show. Jacob Axel Rose. Come on, Lisa. Thank you, big supporter of all the channels. Eel 279, big up. You've been very kind as well all night in the chat. Says they subbed to me. Thank you so much. I can't thank you any harder than I could. I mean, I'd probably punch my damn TV if I thanked you any harder, but big up yourself. Thank you for doing that, Mia. As well, thank you to you. No stuff that goes up to Jacob. Great guy. Thank you so much for that. And that's going to do it for me today. It's been an honor and a privilege to be here with you, fine folk, on the Irish Hotspur. Again, I'm Jacob, one half United Spurs of America. You can check us out by clicking all them links at the jacket. It's been provided. You've seen it there. Please do that. Please do hit the like on your way out. And you know what? Above all else, enjoy your fucking day. Because you deserve it. We've been put through hell, and we're coming out the other end stronger. We're looking good. Conte's healing. Stellini is balling. Emerson's answering the call. So what more can we say other than, come on, you Spurs. That's it for me. Thank you so much. Quiz.